Good Saturday afternoon, Southern California. I have some good news and some bad news for you. We'll start with the bad news, and that's today is going to be the hottest day of the heat wave that we're going through. The good news is starting tomorrow, a slow cooling trend is on the way, although it's not going to be very pronounced just yet. I want to start this afternoon by looking at the visible satellite and radar. Obviously, a ridge of high pressure almost directly overhead, bringing in the extreme heat. But look to the south. There's an area of some monsoonal moisture located over Baja California. There's a question mark here because some of that moisture could stream northward into Southern California later this afternoon into the evening, bringing some high-level clouds and maybe even a shower over the mountains, though the chance of rain is at about 5%. So I would say the vast majority of us today will be dry, but the humidity could creep up a bit too, which will just make it feel even worse than it already does outside. All right, here's a look at our heat alerts this afternoon. Notice all of Southern California, with the exception of the immediate coastline, under the extreme heat warning. In Imperial County, your extreme heat warning is set to expire Monday at 8 p.m., so about another 48 hours or so to go. Further west, we're talking about the San Diego County valleys, our mountains, and our deserts. Extreme heat warning in effect there. That expires tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And check out the orange. Yes, that is the heat advisory for the coastal areas, Oceanside, Encinitas, San Diego, Chula Vista, down through Imperial Beach. Not quite as intense as a warning or the extreme heat warning, but still, we're talking about temperatures that are going to be above normal all the way to the beaches. So with that being said, let's check out our current temperatures here. Notice most of us are just starting to warm up. It is 100 degrees in Salton City, 99 right now in Brawley, 103 in Ocotillo. It is about noon, so it's going to take a couple hours to get to peak daytime heating, but still hot in Julian at 90, 96 Pine Valley. I think Pine Valley will run up to 100 again today. Low 80s along the I-15 corridor and mid 70s along the beaches. Nice day to be in Carlsbad, sitting at 75. Overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, right? It's your Saturday night plans. Dress in shorts and t-shirts as you're heading out. It'll be a warm one. We're talking about 90 degrees or so in Borrego Springs, low 90 Salton City, near 90 in Brawley for an overnight low. Even warm along the coastline, near 70 degrees, 68 in Escondido, and it is going to feel just a bit humid out there as well. Remember a second ago, I said by tomorrow, Sunday, that ridge of high pressure is going to slowly start to break down and also move east just a little bit as well. So temperatures will drop off a couple of degrees, still feeling brutal in Imperial County. We'll go from about 115 to 120 for most of us, 95 in Julian, 99 in Pine Valley. So the cool down is very small, mid-90s Escondido, 80 Carlsbad, 85 degrees downtown San Diego. The bigger picture does show that cool down that I was talking about. So right now, yes, obviously that ridge is directly overhead. We'll put this into motion and watch the timestamp. This is tomorrow morning about 9 a.m. The ridge has weakened ever so slightly and again shifted just a little bit to the east. I think you're going to notice a more pronounced cooling trend as we head into Monday and Tuesday as that ridge of high pressure kind of relocates itself over the Four Corners region, that heat dome. So they'll be feeling a little bit more of the heat, while here locally temperatures will start to dip down. Now, as the ridge moves away from us, our winds are going to turn out of the west again. So that onshore flow is going to start to increase. So with that comes the potential for some gusty winds, especially across some of our desert passes. Here's a look at the wind gust tomorrow night about 7:30. Notice some gusts 30 to 35 miles per hour in Ocotillo along that I-8 corridor heading east to west. El Centro, some gusts about 20 miles per hour. Borrego Springs as well. Along the coastline, winds will be pretty light, but I do think we're going to be in for a period at least Sunday into Monday where the winds could be a little gusty there in the mountains, mountain passes, and through the deserts, roughly 25 to 30 miles per hour. Can't rule out an isolated gust up to 40 miles per hour. It has been dry recently. If you haven't noticed, our monsoon season so far has been pretty lackluster. We've had a couple of days where there's maybe been a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms over the mountains. I'm showing you the 7-day rain forecast because there is something to note. Notice Thursday into Friday. Right now, it is a very low chance, about a 10% chance for a couple of showers, mainly over the higher terrain of the San Diego County mountains and perhaps into the deserts as well. Here's what we have going going on? High pressure is going to position itself, we're talking later next week, so Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, in such a way we tap into monsoonal moisture. So our flow will turn out of the southeast. Notice the moisture tracker by Thursday indicates a good plume of moisture, at least across Imperial County, through our mountains, and that kind of stays in place with us Friday, perhaps into Saturday as well. Not quite as intense. The moisture may be a little bit lower, so for now, I think our best chance at seeing any rainfall is likely going to be on Thursday, but again, it's a pattern change nonetheless, where we get a little more humidity and also the chance for a couple of showers. We'll keep things dry in the extended forecast as we look at the deserts in Imperial County. The extreme heat warning, as mentioned, goes through Monday. 118 on Sunday, 116 for Monday. Here comes that cooling trend I was talking about. We're down to 110 on Wednesday, 112 on Thursday, and then it's going to start to warm up ever so slightly again by next weekend, although it doesn't look like it's going to be quite as big as a heat wave as we're seeing now. For our mountain communities, extreme heat warning through tomorrow night, 95 degrees on Sunday, low 90s for Monday. It's going to be above normal all the way through the extended period. We're talking about temperatures in the low 90s. I have added that 10% chance of rain Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. At least a little more high-level cloud cover, and a stray shower or thunderstorm is not out of the question. In the valleys, no chance of rain, at least for right now. Notice temperatures start to cool down there too, so we're back into the 80s for Tuesday at 87, mid-80s for Wednesday, and then a little warming trend heading into the weekend, 88 Friday, 89 into Saturday. And finally, for our coastal communities, remember, surf is up. High surf advisory does expire later today, but rip current risk will remain strong. Heat advisory on Sunday, 80 Monday, and then here comes the cooling trend as that ridge of high pressure moves away from us. That marine layer will return, so expecting morning clouds on Tuesday and Wednesday, but afternoon sunshine is expected. About 80 for Thursday, 79 for Friday, with humidity increasing with that monsoonal flow. The marine layer will become a little bit more shallow as well, which is good news. However, again, it is going to be staying warm and humid through the long term.